are now joined by Cole Custer, driver of the number 00 Stuart Haas Racing Ford. If you have a question for Cole, please raise your hand and we will get a mic over to you. We'll go to Jeff.
Hi, Cole. I have a couple. When we first met you, you were a pretty shy, reserved guy, and now you're like in the middle of a ring, like dancing with wrestlers and doing all this stuff. Like, what's that evolution been like for you, and how have you gotten comfortable in the spotlight?
Yeah, I guess you just realize, you can be yourself, or, you can do silly things, and, you're not, making fun of yourself is okay sometimes. Nobody's going to think about it too much. So it's just been fun. I think showing your personality a little bit and going to that, NXT WWE match was really cool. Like, just some really awesome people, and everybody made you feel really welcome. So it was definitely a really cool once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Were you nervous?
For sure. Yeah, going out there, it was like, things move so fast, you're trying to just keep up and make sure you do the right stuff, but it was really cool to just kind of be involved in it, and they just made it super easy to be involved.
The other thing I want to ask you about, I'm doing a story on Wayne Allen, obviously retiring after this year. What has your experiences with him been like, and what kind of impact do you think he's going to leave series when he's gone?
Huge. I don't know if there's ever been a series director that everybody's gonna miss so much. I haven't been around as long as a lot of people, but he's one of the people that there's not many people that say a bad thing about him. He's probably the most personable person at NASCAR, I would say, or leader at NASCAR. I feel like, not to say that in any way negative, but just he's just an extremely personable guy that everybody wants to see when they get to the racetrack. So, and he's tough. He has that other side of him too, where he'll flip a switch and he's going to be tough on you when things are, when he needs to call you out on something. But he's just somebody that, even when you disagree with him, you can always respect him just because of the guy he is.
We'll go up here to Lee.
Lee Spencer, Series 6 of NASCAR Radio and Catchment Stick. Cole, what do you remember from your first Xfinity win here?
I remember just being relieved that we finally did it. We led so many laps that race, and that car was so fast. Just hitting my marks and, being ahead by how much it was, 10 to 15 seconds or whatever it was. Those are just the dream days when everything goes right and you just have to go out there and just hit solid laps. So it was definitely a day to remember for me, and just also starting the Xfinity team with SHR that year too, and building it into something that throughout that year, and getting the first win for the Xfinity team was big. So it was just a really cool moment to see all those guys and all the hard work that they put into it, going into that off season and throughout the year, and building it into a team that could go win at the end of the year.
So to come full circle and win the championship, and now hopefully going for your second, to defend the championship. How do you approach Champion 4 if you get there? And how do you look at it through the eyes of a champion compared to having not been in that position before? Does it give you additional confidence? Does it just kind of up your game? Because AJ's there. AJ's a veteran. He's won in multiple types of series. You should have similar confidence if you get there, right? Compared to some of the younger guys.
For sure. I think the biggest thing is, I've done it before. I've been in the championship for how many times, 3 or 4, and you have that feel of you've been there and done it, so you know what to expect a little bit. Where you can be a little bit conservative throughout the weekend, when you have to get aggressive. So it's just, the feel and the pace of the race and the weekend. But at the end of the day, you can't really go into it thinking that you're the champion and everything's going to go right. You have to think of it as, you're just another one of the guys out there, and you have to maximize your day. I think a lot of times in these playoffs, guys try too hard, and it gets them in trouble. So you just got to go out there and hit a solid day, and take what it gives you and maximize it.
Do we have any other questions for Cole? Let's go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, NBC Sports. Obviously, as you focus on the immediate goals, they're still moving up and putting together a team and everything like that for next year. Is there much that you do at this point, or that's out of your hands?
Yeah, Yeah, for the most part, with just 3 races left, this is crunch time for us in the Xfinity deal. We're going to be focused on this pretty heavy for sure. But that, there's still definitely things to do for next year. It's going to be a lot of, change in going into next year and figuring out the alliance with RFK and getting people in place and processes in place of how we're going to build cars and who's going to do it and, just everything that goes into it of how we're going to, pretty much restart a race team almost. So it's going to be a lot of work for everybody over the offseason to get that right. But right now we're focused on the Xfinity title and trying to get us back to Phoenix. But it's definitely going to be a busy offseason.
So what would be the things that you would do once this season ends and as you move forward? Is there much for you to get your hands dirty in rebuilding this team, or is that for others and you kind of fill in the gaps?
I think the biggest thing is just talking through like our processes of how we're going to do things. How do we want to do debriefs and how do we want to talk about things, prior to the race. And I think also just getting ahead because the Cup schedule, it waits for nobody. There are no off weekends really except for one. So if you can get ahead on the first 5 or 10 races and just talk with your crew chief about what you're looking for, what he's looking for, different things to look for throughout the weekends, just try and get ahead on things because it happens fast. And so if you can try and get ahead, that'll be a huge thing to do.
And because of what you did the other night, I guess it's fair to say would have been outside your comfort zone. I know you talked about the experience, but just what stood out about being outside that comfort zone and doing something like that? And even though they made it easier, what did you walk away from that night? Or what did you go tell your wife when you called her at home?
I'm sure there was some people that think I look like an idiot out there, but at the same time, I think it's something where, most of the feedback's been really positive. So I think it just shows when you get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes that's a great thing, So I think it's just been an incredible experience doing that whole process with WWE and NXT and everything. So it was definitely a lot of positives from that.